Hello, friends, and welcome to a new episode of Papa's Restoration. I want to start today by saying thank you. Thank you for those who've submitted your questions, comments, and the emails that have been coming in. We're only 3 episodes in, and the response has honestly been humbling. It tells me this conversation matters. It tells me restoration resonates. Yesterday, I was catching up with a longtime friend, one of those who knows your history, knows your family, and remembers you before life got busy. They asked me how things were going, and I started to share that I launched a new podcast called Papa's Restoration. What's interesting is I haven't really publicized Papa's Restoration itself on any other platforms. But once I explained what this project was about, something clicked for them immediately. They stopped me mid-conversation and said, "Let me tell you a story." They told me about when they had their first child. They took an old radio flyer wagon, sandblasted it, took it down to the original metal, cleaned it, fixed the tires, replaced just different pieces and parts. They repainted it and added new details and brought it back to life. And then something beautiful happened. That same wagon was passed down. Not just passed down to somebody else, but to their next child. And they got to enjoy it. As they were telling me this story, I wasn't focused on the wagon anymore. I was focused on their face, the smile, the joy, the celebration that came from remembering not just the work, but the why behind it. The wagon wasn't just restored. It was remembered, it was honored, it was passed on. And that's what restoration is really about. Most people would never know that that wagon has been restored. It wasn't a secret, but it also wasn't the point. The point was that something that could have been tossed aside was brought back to its original purpose and then used to create new memories. You know what? And that got me thinking about life. How often do we look at something, maybe an object, a season, even ourselves, and decide it's done? You know, we say the phrase, it's over. The career, it's finished. The dream had its time. I'm too far gone. And you know what? I don't believe any of that. I believe restoration applies far beyond tools, toys, and old wagons. Restoration can begin in faith. It can be a career. It can be relationships. It can be your health. Sometimes health challenges aren't the end. They're the workshop, the place where you slow down, assess what's broken, and start putting the pieces back together so you can stand strong again. We tend to look at words and accept the definition we're given. But restoration isn't just a repair. It's rebirth. It's the belief that something still has value, still has purpose, and still has joy to give. So the next time you're walking through your carport, your garage, or opening that storage shed, and you see that toy, a bike, a wagon, or something collecting dust, don't just see what it is now. Remember what it was. Consider what it could be again. And maybe, just maybe, consider restoring it and donating it to someone else can experience that same joy. And maybe, just maybe, consider restoring it and donating it so someone else can experience that same joy. Because restoration isn't about perfection. It's about passing something meaningful forward. Until next time, don't overlook what still has life left in it. Sometimes all it needs is a little restoration. This is Papa, and we hope to see you on a future episode.